I'm fairly excited for Aquaman 2. I think it's probably going to be pretty good. It's just hard to cut through it because it's surrounded by so many weird things. I mean, it's the last DC Comics movie we're getting before they do the reboots. And it's a sequel that's been on hold for like 4 years. That's been sitting on the shelf for like 2 years. And it's coming right after The Flash, which was a bit of a letdown in terms of its success. And it's just assailed by all these things that make it feel like an atypical project. But internally, I think it's probably going to be quite good. I think internally, the things that made the first one watchable still seem to be working. The first Aquaman made $1.1 billion. That's a lot. And he never had a big feature movie before. But I think it worked because director James Wan is an extremely competent filmmaker and storyteller. And the lead actor Jason Momoa is a very charismatic and watchable movie star. And those people and the people that are part of their teams were allowed to basically do what worked, with input from leadership like Jeff Johns, whose writing is all over it. And so far as I know, nothing has changed in the years since the first Aquaman that has changed that formula. And so long as that hasn't changed, I think the movie will be a success. I think James Wan, in particular, has not successfully originated 3 extremely successful original franchises because he is bad at storytelling fundamentals. I think he has a very good idea of what makes a strong story, a strong set of characters, and a strong movie in general, and he knows how to execute it. And I don't think that's changed. And I actually really liked the first one. It somehow really endeared itself to me. I didn't see it until a few weeks after it was released, but I really liked it as someone who read the comics and someone who'd watched the director's other work and someone who liked Jason Momoa and someone who'd read the Aquaman comics specifically. I thought it was a great distillation of all of those that ended up being very entertaining. And it wasn't like normal comic book movies. It was throwing everything at the wall basically to see what would stick. But I think it worked. It was very entertaining. It had some simple emotional hooks that were effective. And you definitely got your money's worth. I like to say, a good movie has about 2 movies worth of work in it. And this one felt like it had maybe 3 or 4. It was so dense. And having seen all the behind the scenes stuff, where they talk about creating it and their process and how they approached it and how it ended up, it seems like they've got a strong team that knows how to make an entertaining story. So right now I feel like Aquaman 2 is getting a bad rap in the public sphere because it's just been, it's been a dust-up year for movies. It's been an outright brawl. It's too many, too expensive movies, just coming one after the other. There's been 12. And so there have been a lot of big casualties. And it's essentially a popularity contest for bigger stakes. And so it's easy to get invested and say, oh, this big one's going to win and this one's going to go down. But it doesn't have to be seen as a popularity contest. It could just be seen as is this, entertaining? Does it fulfill the basic set of expectations it promises? And I think Aquaman will probably do that. And I think what's likely is, ideally, of course, it'll be successful and make another $1 billion like the first one did. Or it could just even be successful but not make $1 billion. Or it could just make me pull 500 or 400. Or it could make back its budget. Or it could not even do that. Or it could be a bomb. But no matter how it does at the cinema, and I'm confident it could get good word of mouth and have strong legs and make a lot of money through December, January, February, and be a success story. But even if it doesn't, I think there is a reasonable chance that it will do well on streaming and DVD, and in a few years it'll be seen as, at worst, an unfortunate casualty of the DC movie universe ending. But that's life. You put in effort, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you just gotta keep trucking. I personally am going to go see it over the holidays. And frankly, I'd encourage you guys to as well. It's probably going to be, a story about family that's pretty actiony, but also kind of cartoony, but also kind of serious, but also kind of funny. And it'll be compelling in those ways. I think it's a classic old school adventure movie with some new twists for the modern day. And we'll see.